Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Taking a quick look here at Solana, seeing what's going on. This is kind of my little artwork from yesterday. Basically just saying that, hey, we're getting really close to a confirming factor for Solana. You got to recognize Bitcoin hasn't fully broken free from its upper lead. So we just got to recognize that Solana it may follow suit with Bitcoin. It's fairly paired well with it, but it's performing better too in a general sense. So we'll talk about that and much more. So if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, truly hope you can learn something today. If you want to become a better trader, cryptocash.tech as a site, link down below. We got a lot of new members coming over. I just ask you make sure to read through our signals guide here. Pretty straightforward. You just read through it completely, maybe even a couple times to understand the difference between my day trades and my swing trades. Okay. Day trades are a different story. We're scalping the market, 5, 10, 15, 20% at a time. Swing trades designed to be held longer, but you'll find larger results with those. Okay, these are trades I take myself, whereas Premium Plus is a day trading bot that I've created with a strategy that we're consistently adjusting, based on certain trading pairs. Every trading pair has a different strategy. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at there. I just want to kind of preface there because I get the question a lot. Figure I'd cover that in my videos. Might be a little easier considering most of my members watch my videos. All right, so Solana. Let's go ahead and jump into the backend data, see what's going on here. This is the monthly. We talked about this previously. Some concentration of liquidation about $78, $79. Let's more so focus on the daily time frame. This is the 7-day look back. We're looking here. We can see some longs, of course, at about $79 and some shorts getting fairly destroyed between 86 and 88, okay, or 89 rather. So just know there's a heavy concentration at 96. I think we're a little ways away from that. But honestly, if we can, if Bitcoin can go sideways for a couple of days, leading into the weekend specifically, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape to see Solana recover and continue to do some awesome stuff. So I'm super happy I was able to add to my position at 80, 82, 85, and I think we're in pretty good shape here. You just got to recognize a few things here in the big picture. So let's go ahead and take a look at that and double check that first. So daily time frame, let's work our way down. First of all, to clarify, 78/79 is previous resistance level turned support. It's not a definitive line in the sand there, just based on because if I recall correctly, there isn't a tremendous amount of volume at this range, which there isn't. So just know we have a ton of volume at the $58 to $61 mark, or sorry, 55 to 62. In that range, there's a lot of volume, but you got to recognize the volume amount where we're at right now is pretty low. So we're building that volume profile at the current price point is kind of like undiscovered or I wouldn't say undiscovered territory, but it's very new, right? So it's kind of discovering itself in this range. The key takeaway here is that we got some resistance at about $90, and our tentative support for the moment is 79. Okay, so again, $80/$79, upwards of 85. 85 was supposed to be the resistance. We've broken through that. That could be the new support, depending on how things work out. Let's take a quick look at moving averages here. We can double check. Again, we got some resistance coming up here in the $90 to $93 range. We've known $93 is a resistance level, but at this point, we can kind of reaffirm that with both moving averages. Let me zoom in for you, and just so you can kind of see. Yeah, see both moving averages kind of averaging themselves out right in between or just above and below that $93 mark. So just know the price could run up there. I would recommend a take profit target 91, 92 if you're going to consider a long position. I'm leaning a little bit more towards long, but we want to double check a few other things. But at this point, we're looking pretty decent. Stochastic swing upwards. We're soon to retest the 50 on the RSI and a good handful of factors there. So all is looking good here at this point. Okay, so pretty decent situation in the overall sense. Daily, I wouldn't say is by any stretch bullish, but we're looking much better than we have before. Just keep in mind this could be one of those false positives. If Bitcoin does end up pulling back, we could see something similar for Solana too. It does seem to be fairly well paired in the last 48 hours. Okay. Good news is though, last time when Bitcoin is going sideways, Solana was going kind of down before. So this is nice here to see Bitcoin go up a little bit and Solana to go up better. Okay. Again, it's performing better in itself, which is a great sign. Furthermore, we can see MACDs converging. That's very nice. Stochastic is giving us the indication we're slightly overextended. We might see a bit of a pullback or a correction. We're maxed out at 100 there. So we ramped up pretty solid comparatively. And the reason why that seems like it's such a big ramp up isn't because it was a lot. It's just because of how hard it came down and how well it recovered. Okay. Again, we're now above the cloud on the hourly, so we can double check that here in a minute. But for lack of better terms here, we're looking pretty solid. If we take a look at the RSI, we're testing 50 right now. So all the more reason for us to be able to close above the current level that we're in right now. Okay, you can kind of see this candle wick here. 2 candle wicks all the way back at about 87. We can presume 87 is somewhat of a support and resistance zone. Okay, it's kind of a smaller time frame one, of course, but it is still something to pay attention to, because when there's candle wicks to certain levels, it shows that there's intense buying opportunities at that level, and people feel like it's a good value. RSI is shifting from bearish to bullish, potentially. Therefore, we can presume that $87 is a good value. Okay? Taking a look here, of course, at the hourly. Let's go ahead and summarize here and call it a day. Ichimoku cloud, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours above the cloud. While 2 or 3 of them wicked into it, you can see pretty definitively how this upper lead is working as a support. Okay, so that's generally speaking a positive sign. Okay, lagging spans free and clear, conversion lines above the baseline. I like what I see here, and a lot of times too, you'll see this level here, which was, what was it, the candle wicked up to $88. A lot of these even numbers I'm noticing, and so therefore we could very well see the price retest and continue higher. It could also be a rejection too. You got to keep that in mind. You could argue this is like some funky pattern. I try not to get too deep into patterns on smaller time frames. Some people are really big on that. I don't personally see the benefit, just because larger time frames give us better consistent results. So again, me being more of a swing trader, I don't care for those smaller time frame things, I guess, if you will. There's more so the patterns. Obviously, it's nice when you see it, but again, we are seeing some type of ascending pattern here. This could potentially break down. You got to keep in mind there isn't a guarantee we're going to hold this. Bitcoin performs the same exact function here, effectively works itself into an ascending channel and breaks down. We could see the price pull back. So ideally here, we don't break this ascending trend, or if we do, we maintain ourselves above at the very least $85. So to me, 85 to 88 seems like a decent range that we're going to be within. And if we can close above 88, then we're going to be in a really good position to see the price continue higher. So I'm just going to pay close attention here. I am considering a swing trade with this coin right now. I do think a long position seems much more viable. And I know yesterday too, right around $80, it was kind of risky. And I mentioned adding to your spot bag, careful with high leverage. You did take a high leverage trade, congrats. That was a risky play though. The truth is, being below the cloud and all these things working against us is never a time to take a trade. But they were massively overextended. Most coins were yesterday at this time. So again, interesting stuff. But for right now, we are in a position where Solana is looking fairly strong. But you got to keep in mind, Bitcoin cannot break free from this cloud here. We could have a different story on our hands altogether. We're looking for a closure above 40,000 for Bitcoin today, preferably 41.6. So therefore, we can kind of, after we're above that level, we can confirm some bullish, the bullish uptrend, essentially. I wouldn't say it's like the bull runs back on track, but generally speaking, it's a positive sign nonetheless. Okay, so trying to get too excited, too overamped, Bitcoin could very well sell back off. I do think a worst case scenario for Bitcoin would be like 34.5. That's right where a heavy concentration of liquidation is. And that's basically the last existing liquidation level. So interesting stuff there. Check out my Bitcoin videos if you haven't already. Otherwise, I hope you learned something today. If you want to become a better trader, cryptocash.tech is the site. Make sure you reference our signals guide either before or after you register. Just make sure you read through it. And then obviously make sure you join Bitunix, a phenomenal exchange. Excellent rewards for utilizing their exchange to register. If you have to use my link, of course. But the benefit here is that we got trading competitions coming up. Super, super solid. And again, mainly we're using this exchange because there's no KYC or VPN requirements. They're phenomenal with our community. They interact with us frequently within our Discord, so we pretty much have like a open line of communication with them. It's really cool. So thanks again, Bitunix, for just the awesome feedback. You guys do things different and I appreciate it. Hope you all have a great rest of the day. We'll see you in the next one. Take good care of yourself. Bye-bye.